Hello and welcome. I am Cindershadow, and today we're going to talk about my personal experience of playing Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Okay, well, I'm wherever. I'm in a free roam part of the game, and I'm just going to walk around and I'm going to explain a few things that I've got going on with this. You know, you've got this game, you've got Freddy Fazbear. He's pretty decently modeled, pretty okay. You can see as the game progresses, all the models seem to get worn, which is a really unique effect. But going into this room here, you can see just what's going on with the game. You can see it takes a while for things to render, which is fine, but when you enter into certain areas, you get these black screens and you get a lot of stuttering frame rate issues. Now, I am playing on a PC. I do not own a PS5. I do have a PS4, but it's not something that I think I would play it on, just because I think this game probably performs just as well as we saw Cyberpunk 2077. There's been a lot of talk how this was kind of rushed out like Cyberpunk's 2077, and things just didn't live up to the rate of the game and the way the gameplay was supposed to be. It just didn't live up to the name of being able to be matching up with the AAA title. Now, Steelwool Studios, they are a indie developer, and the game designer, Scott Cawthorn. This is an amazing game to walk around and look at. It looks very good. There is a lot of final touches that seem to be here. Now, I'm playing on high graphics. I run a 1660 Ti graphics card, which is a mid-range card now. It's not no 3080, no 2080. It's a decent card for what it does, and ultimately I am happy for what I see. Now, when you get in closer to certain things, sometimes they lag out, going up and down, reloading new areas because it's reloading new assets. It gets very overwhelming very quickly, and that seems to be on all platforms. Doesn't matter if you're running like a 1080 or a 3080 or if you're on the PS5. It just seems to lag and not have the proper frame rates and the proper stuff to this game. You can hear Roxy down there crying away because I'm at a later part of the game. Now, ultimately, am I satisfied with this game? I was pretty happy with the game overall until I found out recently stuff that's going on with the game. How delayed some of the content in this game is. There is announced DLCs that will be coming. There's announced patches that will be coming to help fix a lot of these issues. And I tell you, those patches cannot come soon enough. These issues need to be addressed and dealt with pretty quickly. Like this game did have a day one patch when it first came out. Like with all games, something gets lost in translation, and they just got to fix some minor issues ultimately when it goes live. And a lot of times that what happens is you get a small degrade in the download, and then you lose something overall in the game and the translation, and then everyone's system acts slightly different, so it's just taking a little bit of tweaks and fixing those. And that's where the day one glitches and patches really do help accelerate the gaming experience. Ultimately, do I think this game is finished? Not even close. I think the experience that we have had here is lacking. I really do. There is certain things very missing. There's certain collision objects where you run around and you can glitch into the world and you can do things that shouldn't be allowed, like that in particular. That's a simple thing that I shouldn't be able to do just by walking through the areas. Like that's just a small example. In some cases, when you fall from a height like that, it glitches you out of the world. You fall through the world, or you glitch through, and then you can enter areas that you're not supposed to get into. And I've done a previous video on this in the Roxy Raceway area, where things got very very glitchy very quickly, and I was able to show assets of the game that aren't supposed to be there in particular. Now, I have talked about there is lore with this, and that's been the biggest thing, is this is adding to a lifelong franchise of a game with the horror aspect and a lot of other things going on with it. I just saw today that there is a shark animatronic being announced in the books, it looks like, so we'll have to wait to see where that goes. You know, and then there's certain things, certain hidden things like this is neat to see, but ultimately you can't do anything with it. You sit there and you look at this and you go, well, this is neat. And this is one of those spots. I was going to do a video on how there is 9 missing kids. This is one of those spots where I believe one of those missing kids did go missing. You can see the shoe and then the toys around. There's a few spots throughout the game that are like that. So if you guys want to see something more like that, let me know in the comments below. I'll try and scale the game quite a bit more to try and do that stuff. But what I bring you today is a lot of things that are just glitchy. If I can summon Freddy here, I'll show you this door. This is one of the main glitches that you can easily do in the game. You just get Freddy close, you can see into this room. And what this is a deleted asset. What this was supposed to be was give you access from Monty Golf all the way over to the raceway underneath the main stage. It was supposed to be an access tunnel over there, and it was deleted because it's something that's not really necessary in the game at its current state. This is going to be, I believe, a future DLC. They're going to add this content in there later. Like the requires level 10 security pass. That in itself is also something that was removed from the game. Just to save on time so they can release something. Do you need the level 10 security pass? Not really. It doesn't really do much ultimately. But what else is going on here is we have the Monty golf course that's in here. And the game, from what people are telling me and from what I've read on Reddit, the game is unfinished. There's supposed to be a full 18 course mini game with the game, and they just removed half of it, released the game the way it is, put in the balloons that seem to be some sort of secret access code to something, or they mean something, but they don't mean anything to anyone because they dangled a carrot in front of all of us that just seems to go nowhere because they cut the content that it was for. And that is, my friends, one of the major problems I have with this game. They placed all of these hidden factors in the game, dangled all of these carrots in front of us, and because of that, they removed them. They put them in front of us. Like this game right here, this game is playable, but it's not completable in the style of the game is supposed to be, from my understanding. People have tried up and down to try and glitch it out. There might still be a glitch to it, but ultimately it sounds like this game is incomplete. It was supposed to be 18 holes. There was supposed to be more to do with it. And that said, there is also the Chica's feeding frenzy for a game. Sorry, it's just getting a little loud in here with the alligators. Oh my God, go away. With the game, it just seems the Chica feeding frenzy is in itself just a incomplete asset to the game. They've made it inaccessible to play, and thus you're running around in this game trying to unlock this game without actual knowledge that the game doesn't work in its current state. It was one of the cut assets of the game, and not coming out, being forthcoming as the developer, and now saying, listen, there's parts in this game that are unfinished. We need time to finish these games, makes it really feel like it's an unfinished game that was too early for its release. Certain little details like that is very important for people that are sitting there and trying to hunt for Easter eggs, trying to hunt for lore aspects, and trying just overall to understand everything that is going on in this game. There's debates on, like we just saw the game theory on Gregory, thinking he's a robot. That is a possibility. There's a lot of things like that that you just are left scrambling. And that's the little pieces that are fun to dig up. But if Gregory's a robot, then you got to look at Vanessa as the security guard and Vanny. And there's a lot of talk that they're one and the same, or they're separate, or this or that. And because all of that extra little bit of content actually got cut from the game, we'll never know in its current fashion. We have to wait for a DLC later on down the line to find these answers, which is okay. But once again, this is a carrot that's being dangled in front of us, and we just don't know the end point of what is actually the carrot and what is attainable. And that is, my friends, the worst part I have about this game. Why I am solely disappointed with the way it's going to work out right now, because now I'm left scrambling, holding a bag going, what am I supposed to do? I can see everything right in front of me right now. I want to play the game. I want to solve these puzzles, but I can't do it because the solution is not programmed in the game currently to do so. And thus I am left sitting here wondering where the next part of this game, or how the next part of this game, is going to come out. Hopefully this is completely wrong and someone proves me completely wrong and everything is attainable. But right now it seems like the hidden key card or wallet for the ATM is in the assets but is disabled. The Chica's Feeding Frenzy arcade machine is in the assets and unfinished and unattainable. It seems everything else that was supposed to be hidden in this game is just not there. And that is where I draw the line, where I've got a very serious problem with the game. And I think they need to do some updates here very, very quickly to try and complete this game in the fashion that it was supposed to be. Hopefully in the next couple months we will see a completed game, and that this isn't a Cyberpunk 2077 scenario like I fear it is right now. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to me ramble. Thank you for listening to my review on the game. I give it, right now, I would give it about a 6 out of 10. Is it worth $40 Canadian? I would say no right now, because the game is incomplete. $25 is what I think is an acceptable price for this, if they charge for the DLC. If they don't charge for the DLC, still about $35, and then include that DLC to complete this game, then things will do well overall. But ultimately, this is just a scenario where I believe the game is unfinished, and they needed to do a lot more work on this game instead of Sony buckling down and telling them they had to get it out before Christmas. I don't blame the indie developer. I don't blame the devs. I think there's a lot more they could have done with the game just to get it ready for Christmas, and just to get it out and let people know, listen, we're releasing it now as an early access game. Then people would have been acceptable of stuff like this. But there is a lot of people like myself that are very upset and not happy with the fact that you cannot complete certain missions and certain Easter eggs in the game that we really want to do. And those Easter eggs also lead up to true endings, and those true endings have been removed. So now we're left holding the bag saying, we have an incomplete game here. What are we supposed to do? Thank you guys for listening. This is Proud Canadian Phoenix signing off. Have yourselves a great day. We will see you all next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.